Thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massonomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massonomics.
Welcome back, everyone, for episode 309 of the Massonomics podcast.
What?
Yeah, the lifting podcast about nothing, recorded live from Western, North, East, South Dakota. My name is Tanner.
And my name is Tommy. And Tanner, I left the top light on. You told me right away.
Rookie mistake. I remember my first podcast studio lighting.
Okay. Light is fixed.
Now we're back. This is 309. We're on a little bit different schedule this week, aren't we?
It's a very different schedule. It feels like just 2 days ago we were recording
308.
308.
Because we did just record 2 days ago. So 308 with Jordan Feigenbaum comes out the week we're leaving for the Arnold, and kind of just the tail end it starts. So then this episode will come out the day that we are on our way home. The second day that we're on our way home.
Yeah, it would actually, yeah.
This will come out the Monday that we get home from the Arnold. So by the time you and I are sitting in a vehicle listening to this, like, just because living it once together wasn't enough, we're going to like sit and listen to it. We will know how the Arnold went.
Things actually went.
Yeah. With everything going on.
There's a lot that's going to happen in the next week here.
Yes. So we're pretty much like all systems go on that. Like
We're pretty amped. I'm already getting that feeling like I'm really excited.
Yep.
And I'm like, we're not even leaving for like 5 days still.
Right.
Let's see. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah. We're not
It
even
kind
leaving
of
for
feels
5 days.
like for a week it's felt like it's tomorrow though.
Yes, it has. And I'm just getting, I'm like, I remember this feeling 3 years ago or whenever it was. And then to have the rug pulled out from under you.
Yeah.
It can't happen again.
No,
it can't.
Wouldn't that be quite the thing?
Oh, man.
I mean, we're seriously never going to this again, but
And then say, take my money. I have to do it.
Yeah.
I know. So we're excited.
We are excited. You know what else is exciting?
What?
Well, Spud Ink.
Oh, they
Spud
are
Ink
exciting.
straps. I'm just changing as I go. I'm just thinking on the spot. I wanted to tell you about Spud Ink at the beginning of today's episode. Specifically, I'm going to tell you about their belt squat belt. I'm looking at going back to one of their simpler, more basic products.
I'm
a
huge fan of that.
Yeah,
one.
it's a
that might be
time-tested classic.
That'd be probably my most used Spud Ink item.
Yeah, it gets used a lot. It's like might be the go-to Spud Ink strap of the Massonomics gym.
I think it is.
So the belt squat belt. And maybe you're still asking, what is the belt squat belt? Well, using the Spud Ink belt squat belt is a great way to train your lower body without placing a heavy load on your spine. The Spud Ink belt squat belt is designed for maximal comfort on your hips while allowing you to use heavy weight to train your legs. Our belt squat belt is great for athletes to use in season to train legs without taxing the entire body. The belt squat belt is also a great way for athletes with back pain to squat without axial loading that a bar places on the spine, causing back pain to worsen. They do have this available in black or yellow, and it's made for lifters, basically anyone that's over 150 pounds is what they say. And they also have like a youth size.
You got to be this big to ride.
Yeah, there's a youth size for smaller framed athletes, but you almost can't mess up or not figure out how to use the belt squat belt. It is very simple. Very effective.
Put it on like a belt and get to squatting.
Yeah, because at first, true story, we didn't have the Spud Ink belt squat belt
the
at first.
leather
We were
one.
using like something kind of makeshifty.
Oh,
and,
it sucked so bad.
Yeah, I think we were actually using like a reverse hyper
that's
strap
what it was,
or something like
yeah.
that. That's not made to do
No,
that, but
that
you
was
got to
not
make
what
it
that
work.
was for.
And once we got the belt squat belt, we were like, yes, that seems a lot better.
Mm-hmm. That's what it was made for.
Yep. So thank you, Spud Ink. And that's not all. I was also going to remind everyone about hybrid nutrition. If you really want a shredded physique that performs as well as it looks, then combining hybrid training and nutrition is the answer to your prayers to the Iron Gods. It's like having the best strength and nutrition coaches at your fingertips. You get a personalized roadmap to Shredsville and a dedicated coach by your side when you work with a hybrid nutrition coach. So if you're ready to get seriously strong and seriously shredded, join Team Hybrid today. Visit them at hybridperformancemethod.com. Specifically talk about their training or their nutrition there. They also have their training programs, and our discount code MASS will save you a massive 5% on any of those programs or their Strength Coach app. Best part about that code, it's code MASS. It'll save you that 5% for the entire lifetime of your membership. So that could be your entire lifetime if you never cancel.
Infinity.
Yes. So it'll save you infinity dollars.
I did like Big Keith did mention a certain idea in there that I think has some merit to it. That would be the drink spotter strap. A real collaboration with Sputnik.
Yeah, another collab product on the specifically related to the drink spotter
strap.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah.
How do you what do you think the application of that is?
I kind of like to think of it as like a chain wallet, kind of, but it holds beverages instead.
Like you hang it off your person.
Yeah.
Like off your.
Well, you could hang it off of you or different pieces of equipment. I mean, really, that's the beauty of a strap is you can technically hang it off of anything.
Yeah.
You can hang things off of.
You're thinking it's kind of like one of those wallet chains.
Kind of like it's pretty versatile. You can hang that off of anything too.
Yeah. Okay.
Something to think about. Well, this episode, we're not having a guest. We're mixing it up a little bit. We are. Before we do that, though, before we forget, I just have to laugh, Tanner. The post tonight was really cracking me up.
Really silly goose.
And it was just straight fire over in the Instagram. I gotta pull it up here so I don't butcher anything. There's two types of powerlifters on Instagram, and it's John Hack. Yeah, I'm into NFTs, noses, feets, and teeths with a little puppy. And then Joe Sullivan with a very serious monologue. And that in its own is a very funny meme. It's a very funny meme. But where I was really cracking up was the comments under this thing. Yeah. Because they're so damn funny because in the caption you wrote, are you more of a silly goose powerlifter or a serious goose powerlifter? And there was a few things... JJ Everly, in every powerlifter there are two geese, and I'm like, okay, that is hilarious. And there was several comments underneath that, but then there was another one in here, and it said, I want to find it, Robbie PL honk squad, and I'm like, honk squad, that is awesome. Yeah. I just picture like the whole, like the Mighty Ducks that go quack, quack. And here they just go honk. It's like the Discord, just an army of people behind us saying honk, honk. It's so stupid.
And then you do the flying V. But that part really is a lot like the Mighty Ducks one. It's just geese instead.
Yeah, they're all migratory birds. Like, come on, they're not that different.
Did you know that geese typically mate for life?
Do they really?
They pair up lifelong.
Do penguins do that too?
Not sure. Doesn't the daddy penguin sit on the egg while the mommy goes out and does stuff? Or is that, am I thinking of a completely different species of animal?
Mean, I'd believe that if you said that. If you told me that was what penguins do, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
They don't fly south for the winter, though. I can tell you that.
That'd be quite the flight. Did we talk about the McDonald's secret menu items that are like they have the land, air, and sea sandwich now?
What?
Yeah, it's like it's like a thing. They have some secret menu
like
items.
Surf and turf?
Well, so the land, air, and sea is a Big Mac that
like
also
you can go to the menu and
it's on the big sign when you pull up to the drive-in.
You can you say I want the land, air, and sea.
Yeah, the land, air, and sea burger I think is what it's called, and it's a Big Mac basically is what it looks like. That also has a fish the fish.
Yeah, the fish fillet
on it, and a chicken patty.
All on one patty or on one bread?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. That's from a marketing standpoint. Yeah. You're talking about it. So it's doing something, but I don't know about that as actually eating and enjoying it.
No, that's disgusting. The thing that makes it disgusting is the fish sandwich because a fish sandwich alone is maybe palatable. Some people kind of like it.
I don't want to have a chicken patty on my hamburger either. That'd be much better than the fish on there, but I don't want those ones mixed together.
Yeah, because they also another thing they have that for some reason seems better but is similar is they have one where they put chicken nuggets on your cheeseburger too. Because then it gets to be like that's what some of those burgers at a restaurant are, where they're like, yeah, this one has this and like grilled onions on it and like
I get what you're saying.
you know,
a
like
little
it
bit
also has
there.
pulled pork on it and bacon.
It's like how many deep fried
Yeah.
things do you need on your
Right.
like already fast food burger though?
Right.
You know?
Right. But the land, air, and sea thing to me would sound disgusting because of the fish sandwich. But I also would never order that fish sandwich from McDonald's.
no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that either. Not saying fish sandwiches aren't good. They can be good. You just got to be kind of selective with them.
Yeah, they can be all right. Where I'm like, yeah, this. I guess you twisted me into getting this, and it did end up being decent.
Okay, it might have been because there was alcohol involved, but our Hardee's in town, I thought Hardee's had some pretty bomb fish sandwiches at like 1 a.m. Probably because
It
there
is
was
a
a lot
point
of-
in time when you want to eat anything, and
But-
if you somehow by the grace of God get to actually even have hot food,
But
it's
the
like,
fa-
oh my God,
But
this
the
is
fact
good.
that I chose a fish
Yeah.
sandwich that maybe says something.
Yeah.
I don't know about my state of decision making at the time, or
I
maybe
know
the
I've
fish
talked-
sandwich was that good.
talked about this before, but Hardee's when I was a little kid had hot dogs also.
Yeah, I do not remember that. I grew up in a very small town,
Yeah.
and Hardee's was one of the few we had in the town I grew up in. We had Hardee's, Taco John's, and Pizza Ranch. Is that like the Midwest staples right there?
You had a Pizza Ranch when
had
you
a
were
Pizza
little too, like
Yep. From the time I was probably in 4th grade, 3rd
Okay.
grade, we
Yeah.
had a Hardee's, Taco John's, Pizza Ranch.
been
Oh,
an
and a
early
Subway.
Pizza
And a
Ranch.
Subway.
Yeah.
You know.
No Dairy Queen though.
No Dairy Queen. Nope.
That's kind of surprising to me that
A
there's
little
not a Dairy
bit.
Queen there.
Yeah, but those are all staples.
Yeah.
Of the Midwest.
Yeah.
What food were we just talking about? Oh, so Hardee's. I always thought Hardee's was so good. Cinnamon raisin biscuits as a kid, that was the things were
Yeah.
amazing. Still are good, but we don't have a Hardee's anymore. We have a Tommy's Car Wash instead now.
I've been meaning to ask you, is that like you, Tommy?
You wouldn't believe the number of people that have texted me that, and some of them I'm not quite sure if they're
If they're-
joking
yeah.
or serious that I built a multi-million-dollar car wash.
I've been wondering, and I meant to ask you, it just never came up until now.
That's what I've just been so busy with. Just a giant car wash.
Yeah. So we are going to do a Q&A.
Are we going to talk about our Arnold expectations before or after the Q&A?
Maybe we could just mix it in.
Okay.
Like if we get a little
Okay.
tired of doing cues, we'll so that's something we have coming up. I think we could work in a little supporting our supporting members, maybe some
Yes.
over under.
Okay, so they'll be sprinkled in.
yeah, we could do that.
Would you say it'll be like the chicken nuggets on top of this burger?
That'll be sprinkled on there. Yes. And there is a lot of questions. I don't know that we'll get to everyone. We actually there's no way we are going to answer
You
everyone.
showed me it scrolled for a very,
Yeah.
very long time.
So we'll
Do you want to crack into a cold one before?
yeah, we should do that.
This isn't a what's in the can. But
Okay. Also, if you ask like 10 questions, we're probably not going to ask all 10 of yours for the sake of getting to some other people's, but we'll.
It's called fair, people.
And what are we drinking today here?
Tart cherry
Guilt free.
limeade.
Thank you. Okay. So some of these we'll rattle through fairly quickly too. But first question is from Tom_Lutke, and he said, "When will Shane Hunt be on the podcast?" That's an interesting question. I can honestly say I didn't know who Shane Hunt was until we went to the showdown, and I'm like, who's that big jack guy that I don't know, along with the several others that I didn't. And someone said that's Shane Hunt, and then I relatively recently found him on Instagram, and I see he's got a pretty big following on there, and I followed him, and he already follows us, so maybe we will. I don't know when, but I would say in 2022 we'll probably try and get Shane Hunt on the podcast. I think that's reasonable.
I think that's a good call.
Unless you hate Shane Hunt and something that I didn't know about. So it'd be
it's
awkward if he's
deep-seated,
your arch nemesis.
deep-seated grudge against him. Yeah.
Yeah. This next one is more of a statement than a question because there's no question mark at the end of it.
Okay.
It
It's
just
always a good
says,
question.
This is from Lou Nutter.
All right.
Do you have any idea what it says?
I'll
tell ya.
Okay.
It says gold curl shorts.
I had a feeling it might go that direction.
Yeah. So not a question, so we don't have to answer anything there. Next one is from David_Hunter. Big David.
Big David.
Are the inmates fully running the asylum now? What he's referring to is what we would consider the Massonomics unpaid interns, the supporting members, the Discord crew, any of all of those things. Are they? So what's the answer? Are they fully running the asylum?
Not fully.
Some of them have certainly been let
But
out of their
You
cages.
could say they're very active in
Yeah.
that asylum. There's a lot going on.
We would like to think that like it's all of our secret doing, but that's probably not true. David also says, has Aberdeen Magazine formally apologized yet? It's been over a year.
Yeah, unfortunately, they have not. There's still been no formal apology issued.
We've got some plans to
we're
work
working some
around
angles.
them. And,
we are working some angles on this. So
we're gonna-
stay tuned. That saga is not done
It's
yet.
like when your supervisor won't do what you want and you go to the big boss.
Yeah, you can say, what's it? Breaking the chain of command.
Yep. So stay tuned.
Yep, that saga's not done yet.
Big Lance says, how's the supply chain looking?
As of right now, for us, not too bad actually.
Yeah, with everything going on, it's improving maybe with everything going on.
Well, like the fourth quarter of the year is always the absolute worst because
Yeah.
it's everyone putting like their biggest orders in for every product that exists. And we had to start this year, put in massive amounts of orders for the Arnold, like the most
Yep.
stuff we've ever ordered in a single time in our life. And it all went just fine. I don't think we had a single communication back and forth with our printer that things were out of stock. did we?
Right. No, I don't
Which
think
is
so.
kind of crazy because starting in September,
every single thing.
every other email was like, sorry, yep, that shirt only has smalls in that size or in that color. It was just nonstop. It was like a full-time job just keeping up with colors,
and then being like, you and I agree on something and then that doesn't work. So then we have to have another like, what do you like?
Yep,
We have to
this is
agree.
gone, but it looks like it might be back in 2 weeks. So it's like, fuck, I guess we'll just wait 2 weeks and see what happens.
So
I kind of forgot about that. That really sucked for a
yeah,
while.
it's annoying, but improving for us at least with everything going on.
Yep.
Big Dutch Matt says, what about on Massonomics NFT, non-fungible token?
We've actually talked about this just kind of in passing because it would be funny.
Yeah.
There's also some of them sell for way too much money, which is always a good thing. So I don't know. I don't think it's out of the equation, but we're definitely
How do you actually market selling? Like, how do you?
Okay, I probably have this all wrong.
I've never
I
really heard anyone
believe-
talk about creating them. I only
Yeah,
hear about people.
I don't know what. I think it's all through like Ethereum. I think it's through their blockchain, whatever it is.
I don't like it.
It's something. It works in some different way, but then I think there's like markets that are designed to sell these things. I mean, you could definitely figure it out if you needed to. There's a lot of people that have done it, so it's not like it's impossible to do. But
Neither of us obviously know this, but what's your wild ass guess is, like when we're old, will digital currency will just be like, that's what everyone uses. And like,
But
I'm still over there kind of like, no, I'm not doing it. And they're like, nope, money's not a thing
this
anymore.
Is the thing is
Yeah.
like digital currency. This is also where I don't get it because people are like fiat currency. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah.
It's just a made up number. Also, Bitcoin doesn't matter either. It's just only valuable because we all agree it's valuable.
Right.
Isn't that what fiat currency is? Isn't that
Right.
really at the same? Like you're like, well, but no, it runs an equation, so it's actually based on scarcity. But sure, okay.
Yeah, I
But what
guess-
about the other 500 crypto,
Right.
the other coins that pop up in it? They're
Right.
only valuable because everyone
Right.
agrees they're valuable, right? So, and then also digital currency. How often do you have money on you?
I mean, I don't choose to use that as my form
Like,
of payment
there's-
almost on anything.
I'm in a bowling league. If it wasn't for a bowling league to pay our server in cash,
Yeah.
I would never have cash on me. Like that's the only reason in my life right now I have cash is so that when I go to the bowling league, I can
Yep.
tip my server in cash. Otherwise, I don't have, it might as well be digital currency. I don't see it.
Right,
I don't even
right.
use my credit. I just have it on my phone, Apple Pay. I don't even see a card half the time.
Right.
So I don't know. I think right now there's a lot of people that are trying to make a lot of money, and it's in their best interest to get more people interested because the more people that get interested, the more people
Yep.
that the early adopters can more money they can make. So it's a big marketing thing. Will it be? It'll probably be a thing in the future. Probably. I just don't know
to what
I'm not.
you know.
I'm not. You know, it doesn't get me really, really excited at the end of the day. Figuring out how I'm going to pay for things 5 years from now. It's so stupid, isn't it?
Yeah, I would trust that there'll be a system in place that is still usable and like is normal and you know whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
I have bigger things to worry about.
right,
now.
right. Solid gold drink spotter when still won't cost as much as the new lift shorts. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. It'd be cool.
Yep.
Well, there's that one out there. Didn't someone do an all gold?
Oh
one?
yeah,
That,
Efren or
there you go,
yeah. Yeah, so there's some one-offs of the red ones that people have made look cool. Some people have
Yeah.
done some black ones.
yeah. You just get so used to seeing stainless steel that when
Right.
you see colored one, it does.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Big Austin Turner said, "Are we gonna get that lift patch before WW3?"
We talked about a lift patch before.
I mean, that could probably be done like with not that much.
Oh, it'd probably be a minimal amount of effort. We've never done a patch, and I would guess it's one of the easiest things we
yeah,
can
yeah,
do. We'll look into it.
yeah.
It actually wouldn't be a bad idea to just have a patch pack on the site.
Right, right.
3 patches. Because we've bounced around that idea for a while now. So,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe sometime.
Have you ever heard the song Patches before?
It's like the oldies song, right?
Yeah, it's like
Patches.
oh, I'm dependent on
yeah,
you, son.
Yeah. I had a
I
buddy.
tried to pull you through.
Yeah, okay. That's actually
I
really
was really
fun.
surprised that you know that song.
I had a buddy in college that
When you said the oldie song, I'm like, yeah, but what? Like, I feel like you can't be thinking the same thing.
I haven't even heard of this song in over 10 years. When I was in college, I had a buddy that had a playlist that had that song on it, and it played nonstop. And I remember that was the only time I'd ever heard that song, and I have not heard of it existing again until right now. Wow. I wonder who that song's by. Do you know?
Clarence Carter.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I don't know who that is either.
Yeah. Yeah, Clarence
Isn't
Carter.
it every day before I went to school? Is that a
yeah,
part of it?
yeah.
Okay.
I used to do the chores and my homework too. Because it was Patches.
Yeah,
I'm
okay. Wow.
dependent. Yeah.
I forgot about that. We better stop singing so much. Google will flag us. They'll think it's the real thing.
Yeah, Patches by Clarence Carter. Big Keith Honeycutt. Can we get a breakdown of what each of you do weekly? Who's in charge of what?
As far as Massonomics
I
goes,
would
I'm
assume.
assuming.
Like,
No,
well, at home.
Let's start with your Monday at
yeah.
work, Tanner. Okay, you
Yeah, at work, I'm in charge of my direct report and
weekly. So, for us, well, Tanner, maybe it's easier to explain what you do first.
yeah. So I do the posting on the social media. So if you DM or whatever, you're usually talking to me on things that anything important. I mean, Tommy and I talk about it behind the scenes, but I'm the one commenting usually on there. That's about it.
No. Orders are a huge one.
Yeah, so all the Massonomics inventory is at my house in my basement. So I pack orders every single day, usually. So the way that goes is we write thank you cards for every order that we have. So if I get the chance, I usually try to batch write like a day's worth of thank you cards. I'll just say during the day when I have time. I won't specifically say when I do that, but I do it during the day usually if I can. And then at night, after the kids are to bed and stuff, I usually pack. That's when I pack orders. So if you get those fulfillment notification emails, that's usually probably at between 8 and 10
Western
p.m.
Northeast,
on
South Dakota time.
Northeast, South Dakota time. Every once in a while, if I do get to go home for lunch, I'll pack orders then. I basically...
Do you not go home for lunch every day?
Well, I go to the gym a lot of the days.
Oh, and you don't go to home at all?
No,
okay.
I'm gone so long to the gym that
Okay.
I'm like I probably can't also like.
Gotcha. I didn't know for sure how that worked.
No, I go back to work and eat lunch at work
Gotcha.
at my desk.
Between crunching numbers on the number
yeah,
machine.
like sometimes my keyboard gets a little greasy, but
Just it's all filled in
it's
with
all part of the
rice and
job.
everything.
Yeah. So that's what I pack the orders, and then we come for the podcast. So like most of the week is just always preparing for whatever, it's just always preparing and planning. It seems like what is going on most of the time too, like it's just, we have like 10 phone calls a week probably.
Yeah, so
like
that's what I was going to say. There's there's at least every other day, sometimes every day, there's a 10-minute to 1 hour phone call.
And it depends on how busy you are. Sometimes it's like a few times a day, every day.
Yeah,
for a
sometimes
while.
it can be, depending on how much we got. So there's a lot of phone calls. For me, the duties, the more obvious ones would be like editing the podcast audio and video and getting that put up, creating the thumbnail for that, and then any like design graphic things that come up that week.
Yep.
So, if we have a drop going on, that's obviously for both of us a very busy week.
Yeah.
Because it's getting the email ready, getting that designed and sent out, getting all the images sized correctly and put on the website, getting the mock-ups on there, taking the photos for the marketing, getting those all edited, sized, put on there in our Google Drive, shared with that. And then for me, the bigger variable is, that is for me a time-consuming thing if that happens. But like for me, the bigger variable is like weeks where we have odd things going on or we're doing some weird brainstorming on things like getting ready for the Arnold. It was like, all right, designing up price signs, getting those sent to the printer. Like all of the
there's just a shocking amount of little things.
Like
not
the
just
number
like
of like
a t-shirt, but
random like booth items we got designed, and then talking about like the plans and how we're gonna do that. And it's just any number of all right. Oh, we need to remember to put this message on the website next week, and we need to remember to build out this marketing code and this and like. There's all types of weird things like that going on too, but those kind of all get split between us. So
yeah. Then I guess the other thing is like always ordering stuff. We're all, we're constantly like
looking at inventory. Does this need to be reordered yet? Does this get reordered ever?
Yeah.
Like, do we let it sit for a while? Does it come back in a new color? Is this in season? Is it worth ordering this again? Like that's always a conversation too.
I'd say that's that in a nutshell though,
yeah,
right?
Pretty much.
Okay.
And we didn't even mention the Discord side of things.
That's true. We were both on the Discord. It's a really active community. This is also not a question, just a comment. This reminds me of my wife told me like at her job, she would have to go into like a lot of grade school classrooms, some pretty young kids, and like they present things to them and show them these displays and stuff like that. And there would always be like time for questions, but they always had to be very clear that it was for, if you have questions, go ahead and raise your hand.
Just show and tell where it's your turn.
Well,
to talk
that's usually if someone would raise their hand, you would say, "Now is it a question or a comment?" And they'd be like, "Oh, actually, it's a comment." They're like, "Okay, we'll do comments later. This is just for questions." And like almost every time, if you just ask them, "Is it a question or a comment?" they'd be like, "Oh, it's actually just a comment," because it's like my dad said he has a. So, which leads me back to now, do you have an actual question or is this just a comment? And this is just a comment, the Arnold.
Nice.
Yeah.
Along those lines, I was thinking of something the other day that, remember how for the strongman, there'd be the Russian strongman, Mikhail Shimlikov every year.
Yeah.
And Mark Henry always had to go, how about those he's a former Russian military man.
Let's hear it for the troops.
How about those Russian troops? Let's hear it for the troops, everyone. And people were kind of like, okay, I guess we're clapping. And I'm like, wait, is he going to pull that this year? Because that would be really bad timing for something like that. So I had to go look at the roster, and Shimlikov is not on the roster, so no one has to worry about having that conversation with Mark Henry of like, hey, don't do that thing about the troops in Russia and all that.
Especially this year.
Yeah, like maybe just keep that on the download this week.
Yeah. This is from Big Tommy. This isn't you though. I think a different Tommy. Would you rather timestamp every episode or only listen to Buck Cherry for the rest of your life?
Okay. Before I answer this question, I have to. Okay, Tanner, I'm gonna see if I can pull this up on the computer here. Okay, watch. This is how I found this. Oh, because we also have to mention we have a new athlete on the team. We'll mention that at some point. But, I never realized this. I'd kind of seen it in passing. Did you know Google automatically
Yeah.
timestamps? I've never
Yeah.
paid attention to that.
Well, I think I
And it
talked
is-
about it one week. Yeah.
Really? And it is funny the things it catches. So
Yeah,
I
it is
typed in
really weird, some of the stuff it
Mikey
catches.
O'Brien. I was looking
Yeah.
up his interview we did with him. According to Google's 10 key moments in this video, at 7 minutes, it flags badminton. At 7 minutes and 43 seconds, it flags men's volleyball. Then at 22 minutes, it covers banners. We have the varsity hat, the pinup girl tee. Overrated or underrated, Tony Hawk. Behind the back deadlift, 800-pound hack deadlift, Spudink elbow sleeves. That's what it flagged in that episode, which are hilarious things.
Yeah.
For Google's little machine to be like, yes, this is what we must flag as important. And it kind of made me want to think like, oh, if you just so like, all right, Andrew Herbert's episode's popping up below that.
Yeah.
I'm curious what it's gonna say.
Yeah, check and see what it timestamps for Herbie the Love Bug.
So we have fusion whey protein isolate, carpal tunnel syndrome, EMG tests. I don't know what that would be. Motivation versus discipline.
Really? How is it picking that up? Like I don't know.
Roger Bannister effect. Physique versus performance. Overrated or underrated. The Animal. I'm assuming that's Cage.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar. Elbow sleeves again. And Massonomics meme contest.
Okay.
It is really funny reading back on those.
Yeah.
How Spudink elbow sleeves is featured in episode, August 1st and October 24th. So I guess that is almost 3 months apart.
Yeah.
And it just randomly
That's really
happened to be those
random.
two
Yeah.
episodes. But the question though, I forget. what was the
Would you
question?
rather timestamp every episode or only listen to Buck Cherry for the rest of your life?
Oh man, I'd rather I'd rather timestamp.
You're crazy, bitch.
I'd rather timestamp every episode.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially because only listen to Buck Cherry for the rest of your life.
Yeah. What a miserable way to live.
Like, does that mean only? Does that also mean always?
That's a good. Well, either way, if that's the only
Yeah.
choice you get for music forever, that's.
But only and always is way worse than just only, because only and always means it's constantly
never
like
stops.
crazy bitch.
Yeah.
and it's not just like a full Buck Cherry album. It's just crazy
just
bitch.
a single on repeat all the time. Yeah, that'd be miserable.
I mean, that'd be torture.
Didn't they use that as a torture technique?
Actually, with crazy bitch, I think too.
Just play it.
They're like, no, I'll do anything. And it was after the first time.
3 minutes later, make it stop.
That's how bad
They hit repeat. No.
I would just about be that upset if it repeated after playing once.
You're just sweating the whole time, and then all of a sudden you see him go up to the CD player and hit the repeat button, and you just break down and lose it.
I'll tell you where all the lift shorts money is buried. This is from Big Noah. If I poop myself in the new shorts, will the shorts catch the poop or is it going all over?
Well,
Good question. It probably depends mostly on your undergarment, I think.
Some people
That
might
should
not know,
catch it
but
first.
usually there's a layer between your body and
Yeah.
the shorts. and
But
that's
if you're
typically your
assuming you're not
underwear.
wearing underpants,
Yeah, then-
I would say they're not going to catch it all
Not
that well.
super absorbent.
No.
They're also not.
And that can be
overly-
like in your crack.
Yeah, depending on how
hopefully.
tight you bottom, they're not like overly tight, like to where things can't get out. So I'm assuming it's probably falling out.
Yeah. Big Joel Wears Crocs also wants to know if the inmates are running the asylum. And we did touch that one, but funny that two people asked that same one.
Mm-hmm.
Now that the Lift Shorts 3 are out, then this one's from Big Omar. I think we'll touch on this a few times. Now that the Lift Shorts 3 are out, when can we expect the gold curl shorts?
Never say never.
No, I think that could happen.
But, we're not ones to put timestamps on our episodes, so we're not going to put timestamps on our year either. So
That's
people are just
right.
going to have to wait and find out on that.
Yep. Big Nicholas said, "Are you worried about suppliers declaring force majeure on lift shorts?" I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I know how you read it. It's like French, force majeure or force majeure. I think maybe
don't know what
force
that
majeure.
is.
I'm not sure, but
don't know what that
it's
is.
like, if you're in a here, this is the classic segment where I explain something badly, but
Okay.
here's what I would say. I think it's contract law. Like if you're in a contract with someone and there's like almost uncontrollable circumstances, like a war
Oh,
or something like that going on.
Act of God, unplanned natural disaster, all that
There's
stuff.
something about, yeah, I mean, like act of God is the phrase, but I also think there's even something where act of God specifically maybe either specifically is or specifically is not force majeure or majeure or whatever that is. But that sort of thing, yeah. There is even like act of God is like, but it's like act of God might also be something slightly different, I think is the thing with that. Like that's not force majeure, but that is talked about along with it because they're similar concepts. Or
So I'm still not completely clear. What was it? How was it phrased in the question though? I'm still don't.
What was as far as his question about it? Are you worried about suppliers declaring? So if we're in a contract with suppliers for them to deliver us 500 pairs of shorts, but there's a war going on, they can like get out of the contract. They can declare like force majeure, and it's like and it's like a legal way in cases to get out of it. But
Okay, unforeseeable circumstances that prevent someone from fulfilling a contract.
so are we
Examples
Are we
of
worried
events
about
include a declaration of war, a disease epidemic, a hurricane, earthquake, other natural disasters, events that fall under the legal term act of God.
okay? So yes,
There
it
you
is
go.
an act of God.
Okay. I've never heard that term before.
I think I've come across it in business law classes or something
Yeah,
before.
That seems to be where that would fall under. Well, I learned something today.
Next one is from Big Joey. And he said, why was I shadow banned on YouTube? That's a good question.
That is weird. I
We
don't
don't
know,
know
why,
that
because
either.
we looked into it, and I actually looked. There is a thing where you can see like people that you've banned from your channel. I didn't know where that menu was at. I did some Googling, found it.
Was there anyone there?
No one's
Oh,
banned
yeah.
from our channel. Like I thought maybe it was something where maybe a name got double clicked
Right,
and something
right.
happened, but there was no one in there, so I have no clue what's happening on that one.
Another question. Will the toque be released in time for summer?
I can
Yes.
guarantee yes, in time for summer it will be.
Yes, it will be.
Maybe even sooner.
Maybe much, much sooner. Let's see.
Should I read some ads before
Yeah.
we get too far here?
Got a lot of cues still.
Today's episode is brought to you by Texas Power Bars. Buddy Caps first started lifting weights in the late 60s and began powerlifting in the mid 70s. At the time, he was working for Image Barbell, building gym equipment. Around 1976, a local machine shop started making Olympic bars for them, calling it the Image Bar. In 1977, Image Barbell became Champion Barbell. It was then that Buddy started looking at the bars with an intent of changing them for the better. In 1979, Buddy bought his first lathe to begin addressing the known issues. In 1980, his passion, drive, and purpose now had a greater mission. Buddy set out on his own to make what he believed was the greatest bar he'd ever seen and trained with, and the Texas Power Bar was born. It was strong as a house with the best knurling and was maintenance-free. Hundreds of state, national, international, world, and Massonomics powerlifting records have been and continue to be set and broken on the Texas Power Bar. To learn more about Texas Power Bars and buy one of their legendary bars, visit TexasPowerBars.com. This episode is also brought to you by Fusion Sports Performance Supplements. Do you know what's in your supplements? If you use Fusion Sports Performance, you always will. Fusion SP prides itself on being fully transparent, never using proprietary blends, and always providing its customers with top quality products. They offer 2 pre-workout options with Super Soldier pre-workout and Mad Titan High Stim pre-workout. Both have proven ingredients at their full clinical doses to maximize performance, increase muscular endurance, improve focus, and get you that much sought-after pump. Both are favorites among strength sport athletes. Healing Factor post-workout combines BCAAs with a full serving of creatine monohydrate and other great ingredients to help maximize your efforts in the gym, build muscle, and recover fast. Fusion's protein isolate not only tastes great, whey protein isolate, not just protein isolate, whey protein isolate,
They're good stuff.
not only tastes great, it also has 27 grams of protein per scoop, 0 fat, and low or no carb options depending on the flavor.
I just got some more of that chocolate of some sort.
Just
Kind of
re-upped?
just ordered some the other day. It just showed up.
Dude, Okay, I got to tell you something after this. It doesn't contain any soy or gluten, and it won't cause any stomach discomfort. Available in vanilla ice cream, chocolate of some sort, and frosted cinnamon roll flavors. Most orders ship within 1 business day, and every Fusion Sports Performance product comes fully backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to fusionsp.net and use code MASS, that's MASS, to save a huge 20% on your order. Thank you, sponsors. I had a dream last night that I was like...
You forgot your jersey for your high school basketball game.
Not quite. That I had like this tub of like a supplement powder of some kind, but it was like gel.
Some sort.
It was a supplement of some sort. I didn't know what it was. And I was like putting my hands in it, and it was like this red, like jelly powder stuff. And I didn't know what it was, why I was at my house. I'm like, I don't think I'm supposed to take this. But for some reason, I thought I was supposed to. And that was pretty much my dream. Pretty crazy.
And it turns out it was blood.
It was.
And it was coming from a giant body of you. And you're like, what does this mean?
And I had that other body had a jersey on.
But it was the home jersey, and it was an away game.
It was a home jersey, and it was all stained.
Got blood on my whites. So just the deep cut I noticed while you were reading an ad there. We talked about the toques, and somebody said, "What's a toque?" And I guess if you don't know, it's a
Canadian
beanie
for
or
beanie.
stocking hat or whatever you want to call
Canadian for beanie,
it. Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, and someone's response when he goes, "What is a toque?" And someone said, "It's a hat that you wear on your head." And then someone else is like, "Ha, sweet deep, good deep
That
cut."
probably has to be part of a description for the toques when they come out.
and what that comes from is that's how he described one of the hats that new hats we had on the podcast one time, and I wasn't really doing it to be funny. Those are the actual words
just
that
kinda
just
what
came
came
out
out.
of your mouth, out of my mouth. I'm like, oh, it's a hat that you wear on your head. Thanks.
Really cleared it up.
Yeah.
Thought it was one of those ass hats.
What kind of hat was I describing? Oh, I know what it was. It was with John Anderson.
Oh,
And we were talking.
his Peaky Blinders hat.
and I was like, one of those hats.
You wear on your head. I like to think he was like, yeah, that actually cleared it up though.
Well, we eventually figured it out. We got
We
on the
did
same
get to the
page.
bottom of it, yeah.
You alluded to her earlier this week. We welcomed Big Mikey O'Brien to the Massonomics athlete team.
Yeah.
So big announcement, big
What
exciting news
a
there.
power move, huh?
Yeah. Talk about the dream team. Talk about the Avengers.
It really is turning into an all-star
Or is it
group
like
of
the Suicide Squad?
It's a team.
Yeah.
It is a
We're putting a team together. Is it like the
Honks-
Captain
it's the
Planet
Honk
team?
Squad.
Yeah. Honk. Honk. Honk.
they're just all on ice skates honking away. Yeah, but we are very excited to have Mikey on the team. He's,
Yeah.
we had him on the podcast a long time ago. If you haven't listened, Google it. I think it said like episode 257. There are timestamps in Google if that fits your fancy. But if you don't know who Mikey is, Mikey Maybe Me on Instagram. Go look at his stuff. At this point, it'd almost be shocking if you hadn't seen some of
That's
his
true.
stuff. But he is freakishly strong in very odd ways.
Yes. Very odd ways, to say the least. Okay. This is from Pizza Planet Powerlifting. Were your significant others always on board with Massonomics?
Yeah, I mean, it was in the beginning. It's like, well, there wasn't anything.
Yeah,
to
it
be
wasn't
on
a
board. It was like,
thing.
well, this isn't a thing. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's, being as on board with
Like-
someone as like someone's city league volleyball team. It's like, yeah,
Not even that much because like
true,
yeah.
true. It's even less organized.
Yeah.
Now it is definitely more. I mean, it is definitely a time commitment now. So there does have to be a certain level of organization.
Yeah.
like, it can't just be like, oh, sorry, I'm doing Massonomic stuff. Gotta go. Like,
Yeah.
you definitely know. Well, it is just part of having a family. You realize there's boundaries on time that
Yeah.
you don't always set.
And that's with everything that you have to like
Yeah.
juggle. I have a kind of a funny running joke with my wife where this isn't true. She always was supportive of, she was supportive at the very beginning when I had just made like a few YouTube video blogs that were very stupid and stuff. It was kind of like, this isn't a thing. Stop wasting your time on that. But it really wasn't. It
Yeah.
was very
It's
not
like
what
say-
Massonomics
it's-
is.
I mean, that's almost no different than saying an Instagram
Right.
page is a thing, just
Right,
for
right,
any
right.
random person. Yeah.
But I have this joke where where I always say, "See, you never you never thought this would make it." And, like maybe like a disgruntled spouse would be like you never supported me, and you never thought this would be anything.
You were just the tormented
like,
artist, and now you're
I'm
a
like,
star.
see, I'm really showing you. And she gets mad because I use that a lot,
Yeah.
and she'll always be like, "I always supported you," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, that's the joke, but
But you got to keep it in your back pocket, though.
that's right." Wow. Everyone wants us to say my wife because Big Alex from Kind of Fit, Kind of Fat goes, "How did you both meet your wives?" And then he said, "So this starts a chain of my wife."
Oh boy. For me, it was I had one of my buddies was a nurse in town, and at the time my wife was also a nurse, and they were coworkers. And I think we were out at the bar one night, and he kind of flagged her over, and I think that was that was pretty much how I first met her. And after that, it was just over once I knew who she was, and we kind of had some of the same social circle. We started to run into each other a lot out in public, and
Yeah.
that's kind of how that goes.
Tommy, have you ever seen the show How I Met Your Mother?
Unfortunately, I have seen a few of them. Yeah.
But what about Barney Stinson when he's like, suit up?
Yeah. I mean, that's a thing. That is a thing.
The one guy, Marshall, he's from Minnesota.
Isn't he from St. Cloud in the show? Isn't that?
Yeah. Yeah, he is from St. Cloud, isn't he? Or
I think so.
okay.
I just my old roommates were big fans of it, so I believe that's what they told me.
I always like to ask you about How I Met Your Mother. Oh, that's why I said that, because it's how you met your wives. And mine's pretty simple. I actually, like, the first time I ever met her and ever talked to her, she was working the desk at we've talked about it before on this podcast for other things, our local Aberdeen YMCA.
Oh, she did work there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
I never knew that.
Yep. So she was working the upstairs, not the front desk, but like
the upstairs one.
Yeah.
I knew that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I was trying to picture the downstairs
no,
one.
not the front.
Okay.
And she worked
Yeah, I do remember that now.
I say the desk. I mean, you were supposed to like walk around and clean, but although those employees always just kind of sitting at
they're
that
just at
desk.
that desk on their phones.
Yeah. And that's also what she was also working out there too, but the combination of her working, and I think the first time I asked her to go on a date, she was actually working at that front desk, is why I kind of relate it to her working there. So it all goes back to that local Aberdeen YMCA, doesn't it?
Starts at that damn YMCA.
Yep.
That's why the Village People wrote a song about it.
That's why, because of like all the Massonomics.
They knew what was going on.
This is from Pizza Planet Powerlifting again. Do you all still find time to train given family, work, and running a side biz?
I, for me, would say it's definitely a lot harder. It is definitely harder. That's what she said. But
Classic.
it's still find time. Yep, still
Yeah.
find time.
Well, we were both in there today.
Yeah, had to switch to Noon Crew to make it happen.
Yep. Yeah, and I, before I had, we used to be night crew guys. A lot of us did, and then like a lot of us got married, and it just doesn't.
Once families start adding up, it's like, okay, you get done with work at 5, you go to the gym for 2 hours, you didn't see your kid today.
Yeah,
Like, okay,
yeah.
you can't really do that.
Yeah.
I guess you can do that, but that seems like a shitty thing
Sucks.
to do. So.
And also, if you have to do it every once in a while, like
Yeah, I
every
can get
once
that
in a while,
happens.
I
But,
go
like, to be like, no, like-
no, this is my thing 5 days a week or
Hey,
4 days a week. Like
hey,
I will not be here.
Yeah, hey, child.
Yeah.
You will see me a couple hours this week. Like,
Right.
It seems like an odd way to live.
Right.
So, yeah, you find a
But
different
it is harder.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
You got to
Well,
be
that is what
much
she
more
said.
intentional about it.
Yeah.
You don't just say, I ain't got nothing going on. I'll go to the gym today. That's not.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing that makes it really possible for me, is that I'm able to go. I have a job where I can go over lunchtime. If I didn't have that, that would be a challenge for me to. I could arrange it to go on both Saturday and Sunday. Then if I wasn't going on the week at all, but that's just 2 days a week, and that's
Well, and also it's tough too, because a lot of times Saturday and Sundays when you're out actually going to do stuff with
Right.
your family, and
But
like when you have stuff going on.
I would have to do it on Saturdays and Sundays, probably early or late.
Yeah.
Would be the Like if those are going to be the thing you always did, because yeah, also you just have stuff you like. Saturday is when you like typically get stuff done.
Yeah, or you get to actually go and leave the
Right.
house and do something.
Right. Bringing back PBR shirt. This is from Big J Roy.
Probably,
Not that J-
probably sometime.
Yeah.
Not that one, a different J. Roy?
Yeah, not that
Oh,
J Roy. I don't
okay.
think it.
There's
I
two
don't,
of them, huh?
Yeah, because we do have two J Roys, and they have the same first name actually too. That order from us, but yeah, that could happen eventually, right?
I think so.
No concrete plans of that one though, is what I would say. Like. It's not like that's coming in 5 months or something like that. Can we use discount code MASS at the Arnold for a discount? And that's from Big Love Lady. No. Oh, you please use code MASS.
Not for a discount, though.
Right, but just use it. If when Massonomics goes public, this is from Big Jeff, will the unpaid interns be offered any equity stake? We have to keep them unpaid.
Yeah.
I'd hate to
but
just
that
pay
is-
them right at the end.
There could be stock options, I guess, though.
Yeah.
Right? It's like when the CEO gets paid $100,000 a year, but they have like $10 million in stock options.
Right.
So technically, you might not get paid, but I guess if we're going public, you might be able to get some stock options, maybe. If you're lucky.
I would like to keep most of that for ourselves, though.
Yeah. True. Yeah. Right. We dilute our shares. That's
Yeah.
not doing us any favors. So yeah, we'll have to think on that one.
Yeah. This is, I think, from Big Andrew Montoya. Massonomics grip shirt. Yes or yes.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. That's also not in the short term plans. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
think.
not that, and I feel like that's with everything how that gets done. It's probably many months.
Yeah.
So I would never say never on that one, but not in the near term.
Yeah. This is from Big Steve Taylor. What are your thoughts on the Tom Finn edging regiment?
I mean, it seems to be based in science, so you can't really argue with that, can you?
That's true. I think Huck's done extensive research on that. Read through
trial
many
and
a case
error.
study.
Yeah, I mean,
Gone in pretty big detail with some meta-analysis.
yeah, he's the foremost expert on the subject, so I don't think you can argue with that.
No. I think it's something about edging prior to competition and stuff like that it gives you a boost in testosterone.
That extra oomph you need.
Yeah. The science checks out to me.
Yeah.
From Big Dylan Kotz. When will either of you get into equipped lifting?
I don't know. It just feels like it's an extra step of stuff to have to do to try and lift.
I guess I don't see myself ever really doing equipped lifting, although if I got to a point where
Like if things hurt and that was like what it took to keep lifting, then yeah, I could see it then.
That would be the thing, which I suppose always happens to someone at some point in time, but maybe it'll be at a point in time that I'm like, oh, there's actually just other things I can do that also don't hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I respect it and everything. I don't have a problem with it, but it does just feel like it's a whole nother step to add in. And the other downside for us is that no one in our gym does. Yeah. So it really is just kind of going on your own.
And I like raw lifting. So
I do too.
That's the, I'm just saying I like it for me, for what I'm doing. That's what I enjoy. But who knows? I guess you said never say never, right?
Yeah.
Also from Dylan, update on an official Massonomics meet.
Oh, like an actual.
I think a powerlifting meet. Yeah.
This is something we've talked about too, just because it would be really fun to do. It would be.
It's not impossible that would ever happen.
And it's not impossible. It's just the amount of time that has to go into that.
We'd have to have the right motivation to do it. And I'm not saying that right motivation isn't out there. I just don't know what that is yet. Like if you ask me today, I'm like, I don't see why we do that.
Yeah.
I don't see what's going to happen in the future that really pushes us to strongly want to do that, knowing what goes into it. But I'm not saying that thing wouldn't.
I know there has to be like if we had like 20 people in the Discord that are like, yep, we'll come to Aberdeen for it. And a bunch of people from the gym wanted to do it. And it's like, okay, now all of a sudden it's just like a party.
Yeah,
That could be a really fun meet.
It's so hard with timing and stuff though, because no
I know.
matter what, just like to get like anything, it's like, oh, actually that doesn't work.
Well,
for
that's the
me,
other thing too,
you
is
know?
us having to meet. Like, it's a big time commitment on our end, but it's not just our end. All of the volunteers we have to ask
Right.
for spotters and loaders.
It's actually my least favorite
And
part of it. Is
I know,
don't
it's
like,
so annoying.
I don't like
'cause-
asking
yeah,
for
because you just feel like you
volunteers,
owe these people, because you owe them for them spending a whole day doing all this stuff
Yep.
for you.
Yep.
So it's a big ask, and then we need refs and all the people that do that side of things, which we don't do that. So
Right.
I have no doubt that we could market and promote an event pretty good, and I think we have the know-how and ability to like put on a cool show,
Yeah.
like get a good venue for it, and like take care of that side of it well. But as far as the other parts of it, yeah, there's just a lot of moving pieces and people that all need to like step up for it to happen, which is the
Yeah.
tough part of it.
Yeah.
It's not like a t-shirt drop where it's like, hey,
Oh,
yeah, we just got to
we can
promote
do
this
all
and
the,
we can do
yeah,
this ourselves.
We can
Like,
do all the work on
yeah,
ourselves.
there's a lot of other people that got to be involved.
From Big Omar Martinez, other than the strength co-plates, what are other go-to things around your gym? What are the things? Do you think like universal go-to things?
I'd
around the
say
gym?
both the Rogue Racks are actually all three of the Rogue Racks are universally loved.
the Ghost,
The Ghost
combo,
the Ghost
bench.
combo bench
Yeah.
is literally used every time you're in the gym.
Yeah, so that's a go-to. I think
That
for
is
sure,
an
right?
absolute go-to. The Kabuki Power, actually, the Kabuki Power and Transformer Bar
Yeah.
are always used.
Yep.
The Texas Power Bars are always used.
Yep. The Texas, out of the deadlift bars, I feel like I see the Texas, because we have the Texas deadlift bar, the Rogue Ohio deadlift bar, and the Oki deadlift bar. I feel like I see the Texas deadlift bar being used.
I
the
actually
most.
forgot we even had the Rogue one until you said that now,
Yeah.
because the Texas one is the one that's out all
Right.
the time.
Right. Yeah, the Texas one is kind of out all the time.
It
and-
is all the time. Yeah, I'm kind of shocked that I forgot that even the Rogue one
Yeah,
even existed.
I use the Oki one a fair bit still, just out of nostalgia, because it was the first one of the first
was the OG.
yeah, bars that we had.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that gets used a lot. There's some strongman stuff that gets used quite a bit down there too, but I don't use any of that ever.
Right. The dumbbell area gets the cable
Yeah, the
crossover gets
dumbbells,
used a
yeah.
lot, and I'm just wondering if there's anything else on that side of the hammer strength ISO low row
That does get used.
plate
a lot.
loaded. That gets used quite a bit.
I use that multiple times per week.
I
use it almost every workout.
never. I almost am never in there and don't see somebody use that.
Yeah,
Like that out of machines, probably, and the lat pull down. But like, of course, that gets used a
Yeah.
lot. But like that ISO low row gets used a shitload.
yeah, that is nice.
Conversely, the plate loaded. I know you use it. I use it every once in a while. Chest press.
Oh,
the
yeah.
converging chest press.
Just
that does not get used very often.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
The back stuff we use way, like we have several back machines, and that gets used way more. It seems like, or a few back machines, I guess. But
Yeah.
Big Dylan Kotz, one more. How many attempts does it take to insert a USB, and why is it always 3? Why? I mean, that's kind of right, isn't it?
Well, he's obviously referencing USB-A here because USB-C has solved the problem. As you know, it's the same all ways around. It's omnidirectional. I don't know what the term for that is, but USB-A, yeah, it is always 3. One time the correct way, but you don't get it. You flip it. That's clearly wrong. Flip it back to where you started, and then you get it right.
That
That
the
is how
truth.
it goes. Yep.
Yeah.
That is the rule for USB-A.
Gino's playlist versus Tanner's sick ass playlist. I like mine for the
I was gonna
variety.
say, I might lean towards yours too for the variety there.
Yeah.
We actually laughed because I put Geno's on the other day in the gym, and you go, "Oh, this is the same as the iPods that are sitting there." Like all of the songs that were on that are already exist in the gym across multiple iPods.
Yes.
I notice I said iPod there.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Someone else asked about the PBR shirt when it'll make a comeback. That was Midwest Jake from State Farm. Already talked about that though. Okay. FML. I think it's usually FMK, isn't it? Because there's 3. It says FML.
Oh,
Arnold. The Arnold. Hey Arnold. What's FML? Do you just?
Uh,
I mean, it's FMK, I suppose, right?
yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it's just autocorrected to like fuck
Okay.
my life. Maybe.
Oh, right. So Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Arnold Sports Festival, and Hey Arnold, the popular 1990s Nickelodeon cartoon.
Definitely marry Arnold, kill Hey Arnold the cartoon, and you. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because you party at the Arnold, so that one gets you get to fuck the Arnold.
Okay. I did like Hey Arnold though. I liked that cartoon. So he had a football shaped head. There's something to be said for that. But I'll go along with you. This is from Big Mills. Favorite Austin Powers movie? 1, 2, or 3?
Well, it's not 3, right?
So tell me again what
3 is Goldmember with Beyonce in it.
Oh,
That's not.
No.
That's not. It's 1 and 2.
that's
is what
barely.
like
but
that,
so who is introduced new into 3 other than Beyonce? And then who's
well, what do you mean?
like who's the so Fat Bastard and that like Fat Bastard is in 2.
He's in 1 as well, isn't he? Oh no, he's in 2. You're right. He's in 2.
Okay.
One is just number 2 and
Right.
and yeah, those people.
Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Okay. Frau Farbissina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scotty and all them. Yeah.
But Mini Me
is in 2.
it isn't. So Mini Me and Fat Bastard are both introduced in 2.
Yes. God.
So 3 is off the table because as we're talking, I'm like, wait a second, that's all in 2. 3 is.
Yeah, 3 was 3's still a funny movie, but 3 is not.
But this is a case where I think 2 makes a fair that they Mini Me and Fat Bastard,
I know,
2 of
that's
the
what I was
most
gonna
iconic
say.
Austin Powers
Yes, because
characters.
But the thing, this is why it's
And
so tough
wait-
because 1 did set the template though, like it did,
yeah, it has the long peeing scene, like there's
like the
Mini-
behind the curtain thing.
Yeah. Oh, like the holding the
yeah, like all-
holding like the zucchini. And
yeah, like
yeah.
right? Didn't they start that in 1,
I think so.
or did they start that in 2 and then they did it again in 3?
I think they started that in 1.
Oh yeah, because she bites the sausage.
Right.
I think it's yeah.
Well, that's another point to me is like who the
Oh no! I'm thinking of when he's walking around naked.
Yeah.
In the hotel, he's not
Yeah.
behind a curtain. Then
right.
She like has
right.
yeah.
Yeah. She's like these different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so the first one, who's that lead female character? I don't know her name, but
In
it's
the
the dark haired
Yeah.
girl. And the second one is that I don't also know that actress's name, but
I know both of their
Okay.
names, and this is just making me mad now because I can't think of it. Heather isn't the second one, is it? Oh, these are both well-known female actresses and cannot get their names right. Here we go. It is Elizabeth Hurley would be the first one.
yeah.
Heather Graham, yes.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
And see, I like Elizabeth Hurley better as the female lead. of
See,
Austin
when I
Powers.
was a little kid, I was more of a Heather Graham guy.
Really,
Yeah.
no way.
I don't know, man. I can say I haven't seen the second one. I've seen the first one a few times in the last couple of years. I have not seen the second one in many, many years. That's why I'm having a hard time even going to the second one right now because I haven't seen it so long. But they did really, really refine what the first one set up. in
Right.
The second one. That is, I probably do have to say the second one is the better one.
Yeah,
It just took everything Austin Powers and cranked it up a couple more notches.
that'd be pretty rare. Rare to pick the second.
As far as movie franchises
Yeah,
go, right? Yeah.
right. But I'm kind of lean towards the same thing. I don't know. I could go 1 or 2 still.
I could too, but Mini Me and Fat Bastard are just so iconic, and for them to be introduced in the second one.
This is from Big Joel Wears Crocs. I'll read the question. Need you to elaborate out loud why Brandon is greater than Coop. We are. I would just say this: we're big. We've always been big fans of Brandon and really enjoy the stuff that he puts out,
We
and
have.
it's probably tough to beat.
Yeah, and I think Brandon comes at things from more of a practical sense.
Yeah, I
As
feel like
impractical as even his setup probably is,
right.
it still is. much
yeah,
more
he's-
practical than like just some of the insane thing. Like some of the Coop stuff now is
Yeah.
things that like even commercial gyms don't have, let alone a home gym.
Yeah, and I would say based on like the content I consume, I enjoy feeling like I
Connect with Brandon.
yeah,
more.
right,
Uh,
right.
and
yeah.
He's more relatable in
Right,
a lot of these things.
right.
Because he does our style of training too.
Right.
So his training style is more relatable. The equipment he's getting is more relatable. He's a more relatable guy, I think, in general,
Yeah.
in that aspect of things.
Yeah. I agree. That's the nicest way we have to answer the question, I think, you know.
Yeah.
Who would this is a good question from Big Joey. I like this question. Who would win in a jumping contest? Which I like that choice of words because it's so ambiguous.
Yes.
Who would win in a jumping contest?
There's multiple. Track has multiple jumping events.
Jessica Bittner or John Hack? And I want to just think about the contest here. So it's high jump per track standards, long jump, triple jump. There's also a standing vertical jump.
Oh, true.
Which
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
you know, that and a high jump are much
standing
different.
broad
Standing broad jump. There's probably even other parallel, not maybe sports, but games like hopscotch.
Oh, more of a game of skill. you
Yeah,
could say.
yeah, like skip it could be considered in there. But if you're thinking like the most common ones, you just say how far someone can jump or how high someone can jump.
Yeah.
That's the basics of a good jumping contest, probably, right?
Right. And even then, when you say in that, though, there is a difference between like measuring a vertical and also how high of something you can jump over.
Well, that's what I think the difference of the vertical jump, or if you're talking track high jump, because track high jump is a skill that if someone's never watched, there's two different. You take a person that's never seen someone do a vertical jump, and you say jump up there, touch
you're
the
like,
highest one of those you can. You kind of know how to instinctively
Yep, you
do
can
that.
But yeah, so
If
don't
you've
jump
never
over that.
seen someone jump over a pole before, and they say,
Well, even if
"Hey,"
you have, even if you have and say go do it, you're not gonna do it.
well, but you don't even know. Like when they started doing high jump, they didn't even do it that way. They jumped face first because it took people that long to even realize that was the way to do it. But so that none of that answers the question.
It
I guess.
doesn't. And this is actually really tricky because
She was a track athlete.
She
too.
was, and she's obviously insanely strong. So she
Right.
probably has a pretty good vertical.
Yeah.
But John Hack is also really, really strong.
Yep.
I'm curious what John Hack's vertical is.
I would be.
Actually, I'm very curious what both of their verticals
Yeah.
are.
I bet they're both far above average on the curve. I would think. I don't know, but that's what I would think.
Their verticals are like 12.
Yeah,
inches.
terrible.
It's like, what?
I guess I would go with John Hack.
I think I would too.
But not in a way that I don't think Jessica could jump
Yeah,
high or far.
I still think she probably has a outstanding vertical.
Yes. Are the Huge Life and Numero? This is from Big Dutch Matt. Are the Huge Life and Numero Uno shirts coming back?
You might have your answer sometime soon.
Yeah. I would just say yes. You just wait.
Just you wait.
Maybe don't even wait too long. This is from Big Tyler of Lamar.
Oh.
How many beers could Tanner drink at a house party in college?
I feel like this question's directed at you
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. In my prime, I could drink. You know, I wouldn't say like if you're at a party, I'm like the guy that's like, oh, he could drink like. There's always someone like, yeah, he drinks like 40 beers before he's drunk.
Or the guy that's
Like,
like, I
really?
just drink like 20 of these just to pregame.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I'm like, yeah, no, if I drink 20 beers, I'm going to be loaded.
Yeah.
But I could get really drunk and still continue to drink a lot of beers. Is
Yeah.
probably what more so. I wasn't like, yeah, I won't get drunk until I have to drink a case to prime the pump. It's like, no, but yeah, I could I drink a fair amount of beers, but it's probably still much better at drinking them fast. Like I'm higher on the bell curve of drinking them fast than I was drinking them all.
in longevity.
Yeah, because I could really in any sort of drinking
And not that
game.
you were bad at either one, but you just really, really excelled in the speed thing.
Right. Yeah. Anything that was a speed drinking game, I could do very well. Our favorite, the beer game, drinking game that we played almost as often as anything. And Ross was like my equal at this of just being able to drink them very fast is we would just do beer chug race where it's tippy cup it's a tippy cup relay just without the tippy cup.
Okay.
It's just literally, and it's just a full red Solo
Just like,
cup.
yeah, let's just
it's just
see
a
who can-
relay
yeah,
of
with this team of who can drink beers the fastest.
We played that game quite a bit. Is a sandwich is a hot dog a sandwich from Big Kevin?
I don't think it is. I think that's a bad question.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no. Big Kevin also, do you know what's in your go-to power bar?
Oh.
Do you see what he's doing in that though? He's actually wrapping in somehow in just a few words he wrapped in 3 of our sponsors.
Do you know what's Yeah, wow. That's that is
You're
okay.
That's
That
next
that
level
is a
question.
that is a big swing in quality of questions there. It went from a kind of a generic one to a really, really targeted question. Wow.
That's much better than the hot
That's-
dog
that
sandwich.
is-
Maybe he's really just trying to
I think he was
really
setting
show
us
the
up.
drastic,
Yeah.
like really get us
That
going
was like
on
a
the,
bait and switch there.
Yeah.
Damn. That's
Oh,
that's
and here he
pretty
is
deep.
again. This next one is actually really good. So that second one was a good question. There's no real answer to, but this next one's just a really good question. Who would you rather have on the podcast, Juji or Martins, or who will be first?
Oh, that's another good question.
That's tough for me because I'd really like to have both of them on the podcast.
I know.
They're both people too that we're actively pursuing and not necessarily far from. Like I think they'll both happen eventually. Like I'm pretty confident.
If I had to pick first, or who I'd rather, I don't know if I could there.
It's hard
He didn't
because
say
they're
we
both.
couldn't ride the line on this. He didn't put that in there.
That's true. Because these are both like fairly realistic ones that could
Yeah.
happen in not too long. And I really want both of them to have. I really want to have both of them on because I think they'll both be great guests.
They're probably the 2 highest people on our wish list of people we want that we actually have a realistic chance of getting.
Right. Oh no! And what if the question is who do you think will get first? I also don't know that because
You would have a better idea on that since you do more of that.
I guess it's Juji because we've specifically had conversations and he said he's interested in stuff.
Yeah.
So, but with Martins, it could, the problem is he hasn't really gotten back to us on anything.
Yeah.
But I think at some point in time we'll catch his radar, through something we'll catch his radar enough that we do get some dialogue.
Well,
going
and it
on.
also wouldn't be crazy that just like you could wake up tomorrow and one of the guys would be like, "Hey, when are we doing this?"
Right.
Like that's a lot of times how these things
that
go.
happens. Or we're like working on these people for a long time, and all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I guess we're doing it tomorrow. Okay, sure. Next is Big Eddie. What's it going to take to make the curl shorts happen?
Just
Just
more
time.
time.
Yep,
just
just
need
time.
more time.
What are you looking forward to the most at the Arnold?
Well, it's always really fun to sell stuff to people. Like
That's
that is
true.
always really fun. But
That's true.
outside of that, I'm really excited to actually see people at the Arnold.
Yeah.
Because up until the showdown this year, we hadn't seen like Massonomics people in person. Seen them in face to face in years.
Yeah.
Like, it had actually been years. And this is so we get the showdown was a good taste of it. We got to see some people that we only know through Instagram or online, or people that we see very, very rarely. And so I'm really excited to I'm super just the booths around us. Like we have like right next to us is Buff Chick Supplements and Strong Supply with Meg Squats.
Yep.
We have Ghost right across from us, and I'm super excited to see all them again because they were a ton of fun when we had the showdown with them. Nick with Live Large is right by us. I'm excited to catch up with those guys again. Yeah, they're always awesome. We've never
Obsidian Ammonia.
met. We've never met Travis at Obsidian after
And he's right by us.
and we've worked with him on multiple things through the years. So to actually meet him will be cool.
Grant is
Grant,
just
we've
down
never
the
met
way.
Grant
No.
actually,
Right.
Which is going to be cool to meet him. Depth Before Dishonor, we've
And
never
Grant's
met
like
them.
6 foot tall too, so he's not.
He's not a little guy.
He's 6'6". Yeah. Because that's like the always thing. It's like you're 5'4".
I always just pictured the strength co-plates guy being a little taller.
that happens so
It's like,
commonly.
now that I think about it, he's always standing on 2 plates whenever I see. Yeah, he always is.
Plates the tall way. Like stilts.
So that's probably what I am most excited about. It's just to meet people. Like that's our
Yeah.
chance to that is kind of our networking event for the year. We get
Right.
to get in front of some people, talk to them. They get to see that we're not just like these insane people that just put memes out all the
Yeah.
time. Like we are actually guys, just dudes being guys.
Just dudes being guys. Like the moment I look forward to the most, which is
And of course, a lot of the Discord crew.
that's
We'll be there too.
Yeah, the moment I look forward to the most, and this is like a recurring moment throughout the weekend, is when we're at the booth. It's not that busy, so we have time to like look around a little bit. And there's someone coming that either maybe we do recognize them or we don't, and they see the Massonomics
have
booth, and
this
they're like,
real-
the hand goes up, and it's
this,
like,
like,
yeah,
shit-eating grin
yeah,
on their
like
face.
I look forward to seeing that grin, and then like people are like, oh, there that is, like
And
when
the
they get
number
a
of people
grin,
are like-
just that they see
and
the
you
booth.
go, okay, remind me again. And they introduce themselves with their Instagram handle, not
Yes.
their actual name.
There's going to
And
have
you're
to
like,
be a
"Ah."
lot of that too.
Yep.
A lot of Instagram
Or
handle.
you're like, I
name.
just know your Instagram handle.
Yeah.
I don't know your name.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's what I look forward to the most, is that moment when someone sees it and they have a laugh or like point at it or
Yep,
something.
that is the other really fun one because if we don't get to encounter that like ever, so
Right. Will Tommy and or Tanner compete in Highland Games in 2022?
I maybe would.
Yeah. There's a good I'd say there's over a 50% chance I'll do the Aberdeen it's called the Northeast South Dakota Highland Games. It's not called the Western, but it is called the Northeast South Dakota Highland Games. I've done that one like 6 times
You
now.
have. I've only done it
Twice,
I
or
think.
3 times.
Maybe it was 3 times.
I can't remember. For sure twice.
Yeah,
at
it
least.
is for sure twice. Yeah, I just need to just actually put it on my calendar if I'm going to do it.
That just comes down to as long as our family doesn't have anything else important planned for that, I'll probably do it. And as long as I'm not like very hurt on something,
Yeah.
because it's just fun. I mean,
It is.
It's not so much fun that I can't miss it for a year, but it is pretty fun. I do enjoy it, but it's not like, if I did have to miss it, it's not that big of a deal.
Some of the things are really rewarding when you do good at them.
Yeah.
And other ones are like, oh, this one kind of sucks. Let's get it over with.
And there was some things after the last one I left. I'm like, that just really clicked for me. Finally, like the weight for distance. I had some good.
That one was my
good
favorite
spins.
one, which I might be the only person. The last one I did,
Yeah.
I threw the heavyweight farther than the lightweight. Which
Right.
how many people does that ever happen
Right.
to? So I don't know. But that was like, honestly, if I did another one, that was what I would be the most excited about. Is weight for distance. I was really starting to click with that one.
I always love the weight over bar, and I love the sheaf toss. And
Yeah.
now that I can do it decently, I love the caber toss too.
And the caber's fun, just because of the theatrics of it all.
Yeah, I really wish Highland Games would get rid of the doubles of, I don't want to be there so long that we have to do 2 hammer throws. You do 2 hammer throws. You do 2 weight for distance of just the same thing, just different weights, and then 2 stones. They're
I do
somewhat
not
different,
like
but
the
to me,
2
I'm like,
stones.
get rid of one of them. Preferably to me, get rid of the heavier one so you can do the one with the
Yep.
the actual lead up, or just make it a weight in between and allow the lead up. But
Yeah.
I'm like, get rid of those 3 pairs of doubles to make
That
it.
is
'cause
really what makes it.
And
a
some
longer-
probably run smoother than others, but I'm like, I don't need it to, like, if this was like 4 hours instead of 8,
Yeah,
I would like it better.
100% agree.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's a reasonable chance. Someone asked how the weather is.
It's been pretty cold lately.
Yeah, it's actually just supposed to turn around like tomorrow.
Yeah,
to
we
get,
should get above negative again for
yeah.
the first time in a week.
Yeah. From Big Pat, he says, any plans for Canadian beer parody shirts?
What even is a Canadian beer?
Is it like Molson's? or
Molson.
something?
Well, is
What
it?
is it?
Yeah.
Keith's is what a bunch of the Discord crew's always drinking is.
Isn't there?
Keith's.
Isn't there one like called cocaine too? Isn't that?
Someone, yeah, he just said that.
Said what one?
Cocaine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Creston, British Columbia. I have seen that one. Is Labapst?
There you go. Yeah. That was Pam Anderson. She first got discovered by
Really?
yeah.
Labatt Blue. There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah, the world's best-selling Canadian beer. Okay. Labatt Blue. Yeah, there's probably still just not. Actually, we do have a big enough
I know.
Canadian following. We could probably do one run and sell
Yeah.
them, but we'll think about that.
I think it would have to be Labatt, wouldn't it? Or-
probably. I think it would have to be.
yeah. from Big Matt wants to know, his fiance wants to know if Tommy has ever used Olaplex on his hair.
I don't even know what that is.
We'll take that as a maybe.
Olaplex. Let's find out what Olaplex is. Olaplex. Olaplex shampoo. Looks like it's just an expensive shampoo. No, I have not used it. Nope. Never have I ever.
Okay. That answers that. Next one's from Big Jen. What's worse, Tanner beardless or Tommy with short hair? I do not like me beardless. After I went full complete no beard. So I guess I've never seen you with short hair though. Either.
I haven't had short hair since I was like 19, 20, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been over 10 years.
Yeah.
It's funny because like give it a few more years and I've had long hair longer in my life or just as long as
long hair. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. I think about I've now almost been like out of K through 12 as long as I was in, or I have been out longer than I was in it, but or even I always think in my head like the 0 to 18 age. I've like lived just as much life post that.
I know that is kind of the crazy part, and that you've actually probably now at this point you've probably lived in Aberdeen almost as much as you lived where you grew up.
Yeah, right. And that's the same.
Like I'm not there yet.
Yeah,
but that is kind of crazy to think about too. Because you're like, oh no, that's my home. That's where I spent
all
my time.
I lived here more of my life, like in a year. You could say that.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. We've probably had this conversation, but how time goes by when you're like a year when you're in high school. Like there's so much things in a year, like so many things important, like all these things. Like you think you're like, oh no, I'm a junior. Like I'm a like that's a whole year away. But when you are older, it is insane how different that is.
Well, from your freshman year to your senior year, 4 years.
Yeah, that's such
a totally different person. So much shit happens then. And then also like 18 to 22, quite a bit of stuff happens then too.
Right.
But now like 32 to 36, that's going to be I'll just say 30 to 34. That's going to be a blink. And I mean, a lot of things are going to happen. And they have happened.
Yeah.
But it's more like your body and your whole life itself isn't like getting uprooted and changing every couple of years.
Yeah. So what's worse?
I don't even. I guess Tanner without a beard is worse.
Big Jen also asked, this is an interesting question. Biggest Massonomics achievement to date? That's a hard question for me to answer.
That's a hard one.
That's what she said.
Biggest achievement? God, that is a really tough question. I mean, I think when you just look, the fact that it's maybe just the longevity and the fact that it actually is kind of a mild success is an achievement. Is the achievement
right?
Like the fact
that's just saying everything, though.
Like that kind of is just saying all
the whole
of it.
thing. Yeah,
but that sort of it really does feel like the fact that it's still a thing and it's still gaining momentum. Like it's not like, oh man, 2 years ago, those were the days. Like kind of remind myself that like, oh, these are the days right now. And then like a year from now, and then like a year later, I'm like, no, these are the days right now. And it's still always like, these are the days.
Yeah.
Like we haven't had to look back and be like, oh, in the good old days when everything was just easy. Like, so far it's still momentum is on our side. Maybe that is the achievement.
Yeah. Like this kind of still is saying the same thing, but specifically to like, I think about to narrow it into something to say like that the podcast, we've gone now 308 weeks straight and never missing a new episode.
Yeah. That's
insane because how many like lifting podcasts are doing that? Mm-hmm. And it's like virtually none. Even if you take a percentage of like all podcasts, that's probably still pretty
a small group.
Right. So,
and the thing is, it wasn't even honestly, for probably the first 160 episodes or so, it wasn't even like, oh, we can't miss a week. It was just like, well, this is just, we just put an episode
Right.
out every week.
Right.
And now it really does like we can't miss a week.
that would be a big deal if we have to. Like
Uh-huh.
it's really not that big of a deal. We could rerun something or do something. And there'd be ways to get around it, but it's almost it's the streak, really.
Yeah.
It's just
It's going.
Yeah, you just don't want the streak to end. The streak itself is bigger than the missing in a week, though. Like the actual like being able to keep the streak alive is bigger than what just missing a week is.
Then
you know?
the repercussions
Right.
of actually missing.
Right.
Which there's zero
Right.
repercussions.
Big Chris, which Red Robin will you hit on the way to Columbus? Ha! Tried to trick us. Red Robin isn't real, you silly goose. Good try. Big Chris also said, any plans to expand the gym? Not expand. No, not as in like take on a bigger footprint. There's no plans of that.
Like
I
adding square footage.
yeah,
into
I'd actually even like just don't even want to do that. It's just
I don't even really think it's that necessary.
no, we
It's-
got what we need kind of for square foot.
Yeah, because there's never a time when you say, "Oh, there's 30 people down here. We can't all lift." That doesn't happen.
If we had double the members, I still don't think it's even
I don't
an
think
issue.
so either.
And-
Well, it's bigger than some commercial gyms in town. you know?
Right, that have
And they have hundreds and hundreds of
right,
them, if not
exactly.
thousands of
They-
members.
yeah, that have literally more than 10 to 100 times the members that we have. So in that context, no, also I don't want to like take care of more. Like I don't want more to manage. Not that I specifically like manage it in that way, but it all is like more headache.
It's more
potentially.
wall
So
space you got to try and fill then.
I would like the wall space to put more banners on though. That's a good point. And I say banners, but
okay.
just put shit
We
on
just
the walls.
need a
like,
banner room. We'll just
like,
build a banner room.
Chili's, like what's the place with all the shit on the walls?
Any one of them,
yeah,
really, isn't it?
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans, there you go.
That's the
Yeah, the joke.
the joke. The Mason's gym is turning like to the shenanigans of gyms though, where it's just
Every
so much
wall,
stuff all over the
every
walls.
square inch is covered.
And I do like that.
It's a good vibe.
Now there's plans to keep rolling with upgrading and getting in new equipment.
It's all about refinement now.
yeah,
isn't it?
yes, and I have like a full year's worth of things that I want
There's
to get.
gonna be
in,
like
the
a
next,
cigar room in there and like a wine cellar.
we're finally gonna get that
like a classical
full body
music lounge.
What
And
was
a
the
body vibrating thing?
I will specifically dig that up and we can listen to that clip on the podcast again sometime. This one is from Skinner Strength. Nothing to ask, just thanks for making me laugh and spreading cool beans. Well, thank you,
Thank
but
you.
was that a question or a comment? No. 'Cause that sounds like
Put
a
your hand
comment.
down.
Yeah. And I think that's all of our questions that we're going to hit on today.
Okay.
Yep.
That was fun.
That's good. We hit on a lot of questions. We do have a couple other things to touch on, though, for this episode, right?
I think so.
We talked about Big Mikey coming on the team, which that was pretty exciting news. We went through our Q&A here. Supporting our supporting members. Couple quick things. Ryan Erickson, Big Ryan, won the Discord meme. There was a little Discord exclusive contest
See, for
that
the
was
people
in
that
there.
aren't in the on the
Yep.
Discord, they don't even know about this stuff.
Yep.
but-
And Big Ryan won that. Oh, I'm sorry. To explain this better, this is supporting our supporting members. I completely forgot that everyone's
Kind of just
wondering
rolled
what
right
the
into
heck's
it.
going on. It's just supporting our supporting members, and this is one of our fastest growing segments, but it's a relatively new segment to the podcast where we highlight a few of our supporting members each week. So these people support us, and we like to support them in return. And if anyone else is interested in becoming a supporting member, you can just log onto our website. What's the address?
Massonomics.com/join.
Okay, you could head there, sign up. There's a few different options, and all of those options get you access to our private Discord community. There's discount codes. There's access to watching the show live, just like the Discord community is here tonight. And then you have the chance of getting supported by them. And then there was one other thing on supporting our supporting members. I was thinking just because February's just winding up here, I just wanted to do this again and welcome some new supporting members.
Good call.
Uh,
Other one supporting our supporting members. Big Grant started a taco, or not a taco, a food review. I don't know if it's a taco or a food review page channel on YouTube, but
the first part was
episode
tacos at
he's
least,
reviewing
and I haven't
some
seen
chicken
it
and
yet.
tacos
so
and
I haven't-
coleslaw.
and it was good.
It was entertaining.
Okay. Welcome, Big Patrick, to the supporting member family. Welcome, Big Christina. Welcome, Big Zach. Welcome, Big Adrian. Welcome, Big Joel. Big Tim, welcome. Big Hayden, welcome to the crew. Big Joel, welcome to the crew. Big Caden of Massonomics Gym, welcome to the crew. Big Tom, welcome. Big Justin, welcome. Big Taylor, welcome. Big Noah, welcome. And most recently, welcome Big Dalton.
Wow, that's
the
a lot
crew.
of activity.
Yes, it's a very active community. Welcome all of you.
I think if they only each do a measly 50 posts a day, that's hundreds of new posts every day.
Right there.
What an eclectic group.
That's a nice thing to say about them. So that's supporting our supporting members.
Tanner, as one thing, I thought it would have been fun. I was gonna do a little leg work today, figuratively speaking, not literal leg work. But
You did that at the
I already
gym.
did that yesterday at the gym. I did some upper work today, but I thought it would be funny to go back on YouTube and look at some of our past Arnold interviews
Oh, yeah.
and dissect some of the comments on them. But there's just so many stupid ones. It wasn't really, couldn't really find anything to really work.
You didn't
with.
really get what you're after.
Like, this is kind of like stupid in a bad way.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I had every good intention of doing a deeper dive on some of that, but then I got in there. I'm like, okay, it's just people arguing about Goliath from the Bible and
On the old Kaz interviews. Yeah.
The Kaz interview is our.
That's the
number
Paul Anderson
and,
comments too.
And
then,
I
right?
believe Scott Dodds, I think, was setting up someone in the comments at one point, and I think you went along with it. God, I should find that comment because
Was it about Paul Anderson?
it was
or-
about Paul Anderson. I'm like, I think Scott's setting this one up.
Yeah, because the old joke with that is that everyone, for some reason, on our Kaz interview, one of them, I don't know if it's from the first year or the second year at the Arnold, we interviewed him twice there. I don't know why, but it drew in like 10s, 20s, even more of people commenting about how Paul Anderson is better than Kazmaier, and that was like, actually, it's that because Kazmaier. We kind of asked Kazmaier to rank some of his top strongmen of all time. His Mount Rushmore, maybe something like that. Not in that those words probably. And he didn't mention Paul Anderson, I don't think. And it brought out all these wacky Paul Anderson like defenders.
Yes. Okay. This is where the comment that made me laugh. 2 years ago, Scott Dodds wrote, "Fact: Paul Anderson single-handedly tore down the Iron Curtain with one lift." And you replied, "Scott Dodds, that is true. We can verify." And then someone else goes on to just go on and on about how great Paul Anderson was with the 1,200-pound squat on film, backlifted. Get this, 6,200 pounds, never replicated
1 billion
ever.
pounds.
Yep. So there's just way too many comments about that in there. Someone said Bill Kazmaier with another 70 to 80 pounds of muscle would be scary. And I thought, who wouldn't be scary if they had another 70 to 80 pounds of muscle on their frame?
70 to 80 pounds of muscle? That would take someone that's just not muscular and make them look pretty, you
I
know.
know, yeah. I want to know who could get 70 to 80 pounds of muscle and not be scary looking.
You'd have to just be the only way possibly if you're very morbidly obese.
Yeah. So there is a, if you go to the Massonomics YouTube page and sort by most viewed, it is the first Kaz one that comes up.
Okay.
There are some pretty interesting comments as you go through there, and some heated debates even too.
Yeah. Did you want to do a quick game of overrated, underrated?
Oh,
Tommy?
yeah,
I
let's
got a
do it.
quick little something here. Overrated or underrated road trip?
The
The movie. Since we're taking a little
Dude,
road trip
I
here.
think Road Trip's really underrated. That movie's so funny. I think Tom Green's super funny.
Yeah.
I think what's it, DJ Qualls, the skinny guy
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
I believe he was also in the movie The New Guy, right? Wasn't that what it was?
That sounds right to me. If
Where
that's
he's
not
like
right,
the-
it
where
sure
he's like
seems
the
like it
total
is.
loser, and then he kind of turns into the cool guy somehow.
Yeah.
That whole movie is really, really funny. It's so 90s, like it couldn't happen today because cell phones would just solve the whole movie's done in 5 seconds because of
Yeah.
cell phones.
Yeah.
But the fact that he thinks he sent a sex tape in the mail to his girlfriend, and then Tom Green's like, it was what do you say? They went to Boston. Or no, Austin, Massachusetts, and they actually went to like Austin, Texas, and so the guy goes to Austin. Oh, there's just so many stupid things there. He's like, the DJ calls, dude, last night. He's like, check it out. They're like, what are those? They're panties from a girl. I boinked her. They're like, boinked her? Would you kill a cheetah? Because she had these.
they're really
there's
big
just so many funny things in that movie.
Yeah.
Tom Green with the snake and it is a hilarious movie. It's very funny.
Overrated.
Did you make a copy? If you made a copy, we could just watch the copy. He's worried he sent a sex tape in the mail to his girlfriend, and Tom Green thinks they're worried that they can't watch it.
Yeah.
Just like, if you made a copy, we could just watch the copy. Yeah.
He's worried that they won't have one to watch anymore. Like that's the problem. Overrated or underrated? Christopher Columbus.
I think Christopher Columbus is overrated. Okay. Columbus. I'm like, when was that holiday? I think
Columbus, Ohio is the tie-in.
I think he's pretty overrated. I think most people agree that didn't he like
turns out he was
lead on a
maybe
genocide?
terrible. Yeah.
And he wasn't. Don't most people also agree now that he really wasn't the first one to discover? Well, he didn't discover America. He discovered Cuba. Wasn't that where he landed? The
Maybe,
West Indies. Isn't that where they in the
I-
Bahamas down there?
That sounds right.
And don't most people agree now that like the Vikings really discovered America? Like
Yeah.
but I guess
I saw that was on Vikings that they
was it? Yeah, and maybe
The show.
maybe he was the
So
one
it's gotta
that
be
got
real.
people
That was on the
interested in
History
coming
Channel.
over here. But I think he's probably overrated.
Yeah. Overrated or underrated? Speeding. Driving above the speed limit.
Oh man, I would say when I was younger, I did enjoy speeding a lot more.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like
Breaking the law. Breaking the
it
law.
was almost like it was like a time trial, like trying to go places.
Yeah.
Like how fast can I get? You know, I'm not
How
saying
fast can I go and
I'm
not get in
I'm
trouble?
not like driving 100
Yeah.
miles an hour or anything,
Yeah.
but it's like, okay, if the speed limit's here and I strategically am going 10 miles an hour faster in all these parts, you know, like you can shave off a few minutes, but
Yeah.
it's probably overrated. I don't know. It's when I would ride the line, but I'd sure speeding's overrated. You should drive safe.
Last one, a bit of a wild card here. Overrated or underrated? Jack in the Box.
That is a wild card. I've only had Jack in the Box a couple times.
What is Jack in the Box? It's just really cheap, right? It's like,
It's
is
just
that
like
low
really
end
cheap-
fast food?
Yeah, it's just really cheap,
Yeah.
low end fast food. There's a
Like, is it the
Feels like-
bottom of the
feels
fast
like when
food
you go to
totem
Phoenix,
pole?
there's like a billion Jack in the Box and Del Tacos everywhere. I'm trying to remember if Jack in the Box, I think they had a thing on their menu. This was many years ago, but it was 2 tacos for $1, 2 hard shells. That's pretty cheap. It's pretty damn cheap.
But like, is it the bottom of the?
I think it
Yeah.
kind of is. It's probably overrated. It's got to be overrated.
Yeah,
I think so.
I'm buying it. I'm buying what
Have you
you're
ever had
selling.
it?
I don't think so. If I have, it's so unmemorable to me that, you know, it doesn't even stick out to me. I'm seeing the commercials, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but even we don't get a ton of those really even.
Where is there any Jack in the Box in like South Dakota?
No, I don't even know if there's really any
Like
in
any in the Midwest
even.
at all? Yeah.
I don't think they're really around here anywhere. So, yeah, we'll just never know. It's kind of like a Red Robin. Does it really exist?
I think the answer to that we know is no at this point. What do you think? There's something else I wanted to talk about this episode, Tommy.
Ooh, there are Jack in the Box in Illinois and Indiana. So technically, and Ohio. Technically, we could hit one on our road trip here.
Yeah, it's tempting. Do we want anything that bad? Are we ever going to be in that much of a pinch?
No. A lot of things have gone wrong if we got to
Yeah.
that point. Over 2,200 locations.
That's a lot.
Damn. Well, when you sell over $1 billion in food a year, you got to be in a lot of places.
There was also, I just see it there, there was a few dong bulge questions in there.
I didn't see those.
I just didn't know how to answer many of them, so
Yeah. You didn't want to ride the line on the dong
if
bulge.
you know what I mean. You know what I saw some people doing at the gym today, and it wasn't either of us. There were so many people at the gym today
What?
that we did not get to go where either of us probably really wanted to go, to the go-to plates.
Oh, you're right.
Because
they were
it
occupied.
was a fairly busy day at Massonomics Gym, and there's people on a lot of racks, a lot of benches, and all kinds of things. The first people in there, they sucked up those go-to plates.
Yep, they went to them.
Yep, they went right to them, so then we were no longer able to, and we just had to go to some regular old not go-to plates. And of course, if you don't know, you know right now, I'm just talking about the Strength Co. right here. Strength Co. is run by Big Grant, who we're going to get to see here in just a few short days. Speaking of Grant, he was born in the late 80s, and that was nearly 2 decades after Buddy Capps began lifting. In the late 90s, Grant's brother Jordan bought him the New Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Grant's love for weightlifting began. Eventually, he joined the YMCA and began training. In 2009, he discovered the book Starting Strength, and in 2012, as a lieutenant in the Marine Corps, he began teaching Marines this method. In 2017, Grant opened his first gym in Costa Mesa, California, and the Strength Co. was born. In 2020, a major iron shortage, Grant sought to bring back quality manufacturing of Olympic barbell plates to America. His innovation, adaptation, and can-do attitude brought about the greatest plates made in decades. The plates were accurate, anti-fragile, and instantly became the go-to plates of hundreds of lifters at Massonomics Gym. Thank you, Strength Co.
Oh, yeah?
Love those plates.
I'm going to tell you
We're
a
going to
little
go to
story
those
now.
plates in Columbus in just a few
We are.
days.
That's basically why we're going there.
Yeah.
Tanner, close your eyes and imagine yourself in mid-century Italy. You're a high-ranking military officer dining in the Italian Officers Club. Dishes from around the world are served on fine silverware, elegant glassware, and gorgeous porcelain. The height of class meant only for the most elite members of the Italian military. Now bring yourself to the frigid Swiss Alps. You're a light infantry soldier on the Alpine troops trained in high-altitude drills and whiteout conditions. You're kept warm by a life-saving combination of wool thermals, Gore-Tex outerwear, and a trusty pair of trigger mittens. Next stop, the Great Plains of Western Northeast South Dakota.
Oh.
You're trying to find the Massonomics Gym and you've run completely out of gas, but you've come prepared. Your indestructible NATO fuel can from Swisslink.com has the 5.3 gallons you need to complete the journey. Swisslink offers a diverse and unique selection of authentic military issue gear and outdoor equipment. Save 15% off your first order from Swisslink.com with code MASS at checkout. That's SWISSLINK, Swisslink.com.
Thanks, Swisslink.
Thank you, Swisslink.
Might head over to Swisslink as soon as we get off this podcast.
You know, that NATO fuel can would probably be a good idea for this road trip we're about to go on.
That's actually not the terrible idea. I wonder if there's enough time for them to overnight us a NATO fuel can.
There's always enough time.
That could be just the 5.3 gallons we need to get to the next town in the middle of Iowa or Illinois or whatever state it is we're going across.
Whatever one of those barren Midwestern wastelands we're traveling across.
I like the Great Plains that we're from.
That's the fun thing is
You just
when
claim
live where
whatever
when we live where we live, we can say anywhere's a wasteland because it's like, okay, yeah, they're being funny.
Yeah. That's the beauty of Western Northeast South Dakota. Do we have anything else we need to touch on for this week's episode? Talked about our ads. We supported our supporting members.
We've talked about the Arnold, what we're excited for.
Yep.
I guess, yeah. Otherwise, people just, well, actually, it's too late. I can't tell people to come see us at the Arnold because this had already happened by the time this is out.
Our next episode should hopefully be a recording that we do on the way home from the Arnold.
Yeah,
Yes, we plan on doing a
road trip
recording then,
episode.
so that should be a fun one, a little bit different too.
Mm-hmm. Switch it up.
All right.
Tommy, where do they find you at?
You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
You can follow me at Tanner_Baird. Just make sure to follow Massonomics at Massonomics.
See ya.